Okay, so the orchid that we're going to be spotlighting and featuring today in our Orchid in Review is this Cattleya Day Tripper. And as you can see, she is a pretty large gal. This one in particular is standing at about 2 feet tall, which tells you that this can get rather large and lanky, so you are going to need some pretty good space for this orchid. Now, when I do say tall and lanky, that is exactly what I mean. Because taking a look at these pseudobulbs, you are going to see that they look identical to canes because they grow so long. And the good thing about this particular Cattleya is that it does grow somewhat upright, but because it does grow tall, you may want to go ahead and stake this up to have a well-balanced plant and also for the plant's protection. Now, this is a bifoliate orchid, meaning that it grows 2 leaves, as you can see throughout this plant. Now, a wonderful feature that this orchid has is that it does have nice bloom potential. This has the capability of blooming about 2 to even up to 8 or more blooms. And the blooms are at a good size. We're talking about 3 to 4 inches in diameter. So indeed, you have great bloom potential and great bloom size on this orchid. And I do have to tell you that this is quite a loving orchid, because just as long as you take care of it, it will take care of you in the regards of rewarding you with its blooms. Because this particular orchid right here loves to give you an abundance of blooms and also loves to bloom off of each pseudobulb. Now let's take a closer look at how phenomenal these blooms are. As you can see, she is very highly speckled and spotted. This is an orchid that I do love to call a spotty dotty, and you guys know I absolutely go crazy for these bold blooming spotted orchids, and this is definitely one of them. As you can see in its sepals and its petals, the back color is actually a greenish type of color. But it varies in certain orchids because sometimes you can find them more in a pinkish white color or even in more of a pristine white color. But this one in particular, again, is a greenish color in the backdrop, and then you're just going to see a multitude, countless amount of spots on her. And definitely it gives such a charm to this orchid, making her very bold and full of personality. And taking a closer look at those spots, oh my, you are definitely going to see a burgundy raspberry-ish color in those spots. How beautiful it comes across on top of that green undertone. And taking a close look at the actual column and also the lateral lobes of the blossom, you are going to see that it is a very light pastel pink. Now, the lip of this orchid is a very rich magenta color, and you're also going to see lots of ripples throughout this lip. And with all of these wonderful characteristics coming together as one unit right here, you are seeing the collaboration in this masterpiece, and what a wonderful work of art this Cattleya is. And let us not forget to mention that this is very strongly fragrant as well. A very intoxicating orchid with such a lovely, lovely, delicious fragrance, and it is very floral. It reminds me somewhat of jasmine and lilac combined together. Definitely very scrumptious fragrance. Just so many bells and whistles on this orchid. You definitely will not lose out on this orchid. As a matter of fact, you will gain so much. I am telling you, beauty is in abundance in this orchid. And that, my friend, is a complete Orchid in Review wrap for this beautiful Cattleya Day Tripper. Indeed, I thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another episode of my orchid adventures. And you guys already know that indeed I truly do love you guys all. Mwah!